Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be giving you an update on the potential very active pattern we will have, particularly for the Eastern United States, moving forward through the end of December towards New Year's. And it looks to be, looks like most of the Eastern U.S., even getting down towards Florida, in fact, in some cases, we could be getting extremely cold in in multiple shots moving from now through New Year's. So I'm going to be breaking that down, showing you guys the potential of how cold it will get. Actually, we potentially could have some decent storm systems maybe that will accompany these big cold shots, and I'll show you guys what the GFS model is showing, the CMC model is showing, and what the European model is showing. First, I'm going to show you the GFS model, and you can see currently, I'm showing you right now, and in fact, today we experienced some snow showers for the Northeast and even portions of New England. My area in Connecticut, in fact, saw a few hours of some snow showers earlier today, which was very cool. But of course, it didn't really accumulate much, but it just added to the nice overall wintry scene that's still going on in much of these areas in the Northeast and New England after our big snowstorm this previous week. Now, let's move this forward in time, and you can see there's a low pressure center diving in with this massive shot of Arctic air that's going to be shooting in through Minnesota, through the northern Great Lakes and the northern Ohio Valley into the Northeast and New England, and could deliver some lake effect snow, some snow showers to some areas getting into the Northeast and New England as we head towards Monday into Tuesday. It's very interesting there. You can see that cold air is really going to become prominent as the system moves through. Here, let me show you the contours here. Oh wait, wrong thing. Nope, not the contours. Anomalies, I believe. Here we go. Oh, I guess it's not it doesn't get terribly cold, but you can see it does bring it brings the eastern seaboard generally back down to slightly below average in most places, but generally around average for a lot of areas. But you can see Florida is quite below average there, so that's very interesting. Let's change this back to the precipitation here, and we move this forward, continue moving this forward, and then again, here's this really big prominent cold blast that is going to move into the central and eastern United States going towards Christmas. You can see there's this big system that's going to accompany that on the leading edge, bringing some very rainy, windy, even some wintry weather in some cases to the Northeast of New England going into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You can see, let me zoom in fact, to the Northeast region, and you can see a very prominent storm there, bringing very heavy rain and potentially even some rain mixed with snow or some snow showers even on the backside for portions of New England as the system moves away. Now let me show you the anomalies here, and it is insane. In fact, let me move back here. Let me show you how warm, or how much warmer compared to average. This is above average temperatures, what I'm showing you in the reds. The reds are comparing your average temperatures and how much warmer they are in terms of your average, and then the blues are where you're being shown your average, but how much below average your temperatures are compared to your average. So, first you can see on the leading warm front of this storm, as the system's coming through, this temperatures become very warm. In fact, some cases we'll be seeing temperatures as high as 6 to even, in some cases, 12 degrees above average, and particularly getting towards lots of the Northeast New England, particularly into New England, and even as we get, this is by around 1 to 2 p.m. on Thursday, December 24th, so getting to the early afternoon on Christmas Eve. Temperatures are in New England ranging anywhere from 6 to 12 to 15 degrees above average. In fact, even as we get towards, later in the day, Christmas Eve, towards 7, 8 p.m., it gets even warmer and more above average. Most areas in New England are experiencing temperatures anywhere from, in the very eastern portions of New England, anywhere from like 4 degrees above average all the way to, in fact, like 16 to 20 degrees above average. It's going to get very warm. And then as the system pulls away, that big cold shot moves in. temperatures are going to plummet and become extremely cold all of a sudden, just like that, moving from Christmas Day into December 26th, the day after Christmas, where temperatures are going to shoot down to New England. Most of New England will be then day after Christmas. In fact, around, I want to say this is 4 to 6 degrees below average in most, and most of the rest of the Northeast is anywhere from, in fact, 6 to 12 degrees below average. In some cases, the mountainous, the West Virginia, the mountains in West Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, temperatures get even colder, down towards 12 to 16 degrees below average. So it's going to get very, very cold all of a sudden, very quickly, just after Christmas. So there's going to be a big warm up leading in the after Christmas. So leading up to Christmas, there's going to be a big warm up, and then right after Christmas, it's going to cool down once again very quickly, and it might catch a lot of you off guard. So that's going to be very, very. That's something everyone needs to make sure they are aware for. But again, moving forward in time. I'm just going to show you the Northeast now, the Northeast area, but you can see moving towards the end of December. This is getting very, very far out. It's not. I don't want you to focus more on the fact that the models are showing exactly dates of when potential systems will happen. I want you to key in on the fact that moving forward between now and New Year's, particularly, that's the time frame I want to focus on this video. I don't want to go into early January because that gets way too far out, but between now and New Year's particularly, the overall weather pattern, particularly for the Eastern U.S., and particularly even in the Eastern U.S., Northeast and New England regions, will likely become generally much colder most of the time, and then a lot of potential systems will accompany those big cool downs and potentially bring some snow. And you can see there's a potential system around the very end of December towards the 29th, 30th that brings potential snowfall there to southern New England. That's interesting. We'll have to see how that progresses. That's not exactly, the dates don't matter about the system, just the potential of a system around that time frame is there, it seems. Now, and then we go towards New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then another potential wet to wintry system happens for the Northeast New England. So, again, very, very active cold pattern is setting up according to the GFS model. In fact, let me show you what the temperatures, how the temperatures are going to be moving forward going through today through New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You can see the temperatures generally now are going to be in the into the 30s, 20s for lows. And then as we get towards 22nd, 23rd, in fact, Wednesday could be quite cold. In fact, with the highs generally in the 20s for a lot of regions and towards freezing, towards more of the coastal region in the Northeast New England. And then lows will be into the 20s. And even maybe some teens in the very northern parts of the Northeast New England. But then as that storm system gets closer, you can see there's that very sharp cutoff. You can see it's very pronounced. There's the warm front right there and the cold front. It brings those temperatures plummeting. You can see the temperatures on the warm side of this, on the rainy side of this, temperatures shoot up into the 40s and 50s. And temperatures on the colder, wintry side of this are in the 20s and 30s. Very, very significant cold front there. You can see moving into this is into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Temperatures are going to be going from Christmas Day is going to be insane. Temperatures likely more in the morning to around noon. Temperatures will be in the 40s to 50s, dropping towards the 30s to around freezing in some locations in New England, and then it's going to get extremely cold once the system moves through. You can see plunging into the 20s for lows and highs even for many, many days after this point. It's going to get cold and even into around freezing potentially towards the December 27th. It's going to get extremely cold very quickly right after Christmas. Literally, Christmas Day, this system is going to have a huge temperature contrast with it. I want you guys to be very, very aware of that because a lot of you will definitely be caught off guard because I'm sure in the morning to around noon, early afternoon or so, lots of people will be waking up, going through the day, being like, oh, it's a pretty nice, warm, but unfortunately rainy day for Christmas in some regions, especially New England to start off, and then all of a sudden the temperatures are going to bottom out and plummet, and you're like, whoa, what just happened? And so again, I really want you guys to be very, very aware of that. Make sure that you are aware of the potential big temperature change just within that day, during the day while you're awake even. Now, moving towards the very end of December, towards New Year's, you can see the temperatures generally stay quite cold. In any case. So yeah, it maybe get a little bit warmer towards New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, but still, generally between now and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, it will be generally quite cold and generally be quite below average for the Northeast New England in particular. Being accompanied potentially with a bunch of wintry systems potentially. Maybe wintry systems, but generally a lot of systems will potentially accompany these big cool downs between now and New Year's. So again, that's what the GFS model is showing. Now let's show you what the CMC model is showing. Let's bring this CMC model. Here we go. And start off today again, and then moving forward throughout this week, again, potential of that system sliding down through the upper Midwest into the Northeast, bringing maybe some lake effect snow showers to the Northeast New England. And then we move forward towards New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Again, there's that big system. Again, it's going to be a very, very rainy, warm day, particularly for Christmas Eve, for particularly very eastern portions of the Northeast and all of New England. And then the CMC model for Christmas Day into December 26th generally loses that wintry side as the system progresses through the rest of New England, and it stays generally rainy, and then the cold front comes through and it stays kind of more dry, but it gets very, very cold. Let me show you both the temperatures first. There's that, let me bring this back. So there's that temperature gradient with that big cold front accompanying that system. Big temperature gradient. You can see 40s, 50s, maybe into the low to mid 60s, particularly for more of the southern portions of Northeast and New England. So that's going to be very, very warm, very warm. And then you can see there's the backside of the cold front, very cold. Teens, 20s to around 30. And then the gradient, the cold front moves through New England, and the temperatures again bottom out, get everywhere into the 20s and teens, even single digits potentially for lows in the upstate New York, northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, northern Maine, interior, and again northern interior New England, potentially single digits. But again, look, very, very cold temperatures there for potentially even like 2 to 3 days after Christmas. Like Christmas Day, that system's going to move through, that cold front, that very strong cold front's going to move through, and then potentially the following 2 to 4 days after Christmas, it's going to generally stay very, very cold. CMC model, this goes out through the 30th, and is a lot more bullish on the general very cold conditions than the GFS model is. You can see, because that cold front moves through again, and that all the days after Christmas through New Year's generally shows temperatures for the Northeast and New England staying very cold, with highs generally in the 20s to around 30, and lows in the single digits to the teens, maybe low 20s. But again, very, very cold. Even the negatives gets down into the negatives potentially towards New Year's, according to the CMC model. So again, generally, going to be getting very, very cold for the days after Christmas, particularly through New Year's. Now let's continue moving this forward. Again, there's that potential, that Christmas storm that is, again, by the way, actually looking more and more likely to happen. So I'll start making more individual videos on that storm moving forward throughout the rest of this week. Leading up to it, but again, very, very cold conditions. There's a potential maybe like snow clipper system moving through towards the end of December, and then this model run ends towards December 30th. It doesn't fully take us out towards Christmas Eve and not Christmas Eve. It does take us out to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, obviously. It doesn't take us out to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, though. But again, still generally gets that to December 30th. So again, I can say, according to the CMC model, most likely once it starts showing the 31st and January 1st, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, will likely continue to show the Northeast New England staying quite cold. Now, let me show you the European model. And all right, so here's the European model. I'm showing you the overall, the United States as a whole. Now, let's move this forward in time, moving out from today through this into this week. Again, there's that potential. Let's move this back a little bit. There's that potential for that bit of a northern clipper system through the upper Midwest, upper Great Lakes into the northeast of New England, and then here's this Christmas potential storm setting up. That original low pressure center will be set up much farther north, but a lot of the moisture that will be streaming in through the eastern U.S. into the northeast New England will set up much farther south through the Great Lakes, the southern Midwest, the Ohio Valley, down through the deep south, and some portion of the southeast. Then you can see it continues to move forward. Why is this not? Sorry, 1 second. Bring this back. Bring this forward in time towards Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. You can see there's that big temperature contrast. You can see those pressure gradients. Those lines are going down. So, and that's showing that big trough accompanying that system. Going to be a very rainy, warm day on the leading edge, and particularly Christmas Eve for all of New England in particular. But then getting into Christmas Day, that temperatures are just going to bottom out everywhere in the northeast of New England. Get very, very cold. And we continue to move this forward in time. There's a high pressure that sets up over the northeast New England, but then there's this next system potentially moving towards, again, December 29th, 30th, shows more of a rainy system kind of for a lot of the northeast, but then shows potentially some snow going on towards December 30th and the 31st. But again, it goes out just as far as the CMC, goes out towards the 30th, and doesn't show the 31st or January 1st, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But let me zoom in. Let me see if I can show you the temperatures for the northeast of New England. So let me see. Where is the temperatures here? No, that is not it. Here, temperatures. There it is. Okay, here's the temperatures for the northeast of New England. Moving this forward, 20th, 21st, 22nd. You can see the temperatures, the European model showing for temperatures in northeast of New England generally, again, being in like the 30s, lows in the 20s, maybe some areas in the teens. And then we get towards the 23rd and 24th, again, that Wednesday the 23rd, this Wednesday, could be quite cold, especially overnight. And then going throughout the day, there's the big front there starting to head in towards the northeast of New England. You can see temperatures generally 40s, 50s, 60s even showing there for the coastal mid-Atlantic. But again, farther to the west towards Ohio, towards central western Ohio, Kentucky, towards Michigan, the Great Lakes, temperatures 20s, 30s. Very, very strong contrast in temperatures. That front is going to be very cold, very strong with very, very sharp temperature gradient. You see, getting towards Christmas Day itself, temperatures on that leading warm edge of that front with the rain, it looks to get into the 50s widespread in pretty much all of New England, Northeast, 60s even for portions of the coastal mid-Atlantic portion of the Northeast, and then that front moves through 50s, and then boom, look at that, 30s, 40s, the temperatures just plummet, single digits, teens, 20s, gets extremely cold just getting towards the end of Christmas Day into the 26th, 27th, and into the 28th even, the 29th. It just gets so cold, and then there's another big cold front that moves through towards the 30th again, with that potential next system there as well. So again, in general, going to be a very, very cold next week and a half, 2 weeks between now and New Year's, and even potentially into early January itself. So again, between now and New Year's and even into portions of early January, all three of the main models, GFS, European model, and CMC model, all three of those models are showing a very, very cold setup for the northeast of New England in particular, towards towards between now and New Year's, even into early January, with temperatures very, very cold. We'll get very warm towards Christmas Eve, particularly that day. But then Christmas Day, it starts off warm for pretty much everyone, but particularly for all of the Northeast still and the coastal Mid-Atlantic. But then that front moves through all of the Northeast and coastal Mid-Atlantic, and the temperatures throughout the rest of Christmas Day, especially into the afternoon and overnight, will just bottom out, get very, very cold. And then the days after Christmas, going through all the way towards New Year's, will continue to stay very, very cold. So again, temperatures, it will stay generally quite below average for temperatures for the Northeast and New England between now and New Year's. All three of the main models are showing it. Potential big systems will accompany these big cold blasts. Particularly that Christmas system looks to be more and more likely to occur. And then there might be even another potential system of some magnitude towards New Year's. So that's going to be very interesting. We're going to have to watch that, and I'll continue to give you guys updates on this, and even particularly independent single videos for the Christmas system alone moving forward through this week. And then potentially, if going into the following week, the week of New Year's, if that system around New Year's, it will potentially look more and more likely, I'll give you guys some individual videos on that. So again, please look out for that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider liking the video, commenting on the video, and if you are a first-time viewer of my channel and you like what you saw in today's video, if you like wintry-related videos, snowstorm-related videos, snowfall-related videos, I'll be doing tons of those videos throughout the rest of this winter on my channel, so please consider subscribing. Please hit that bell notification to make sure you get daily videos from my channel. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider liking the video, commenting on the video, subscribing if you haven't. But in general, please consider subscribing if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.